so starting Robo against Peacock. So this matchup is nuanced in a few ways. Generally, if Peacock makes Robo block stuff, she can kinda make her block stuff for a while. But it's pretty hard if you don't necessarily have the greatest zoning assist. You can gamble with some teleports if you really wanted to. Go for a hard read. Because the main thing is, how is Robo gonna stop Peacock from throwing projectiles? She's gonna look to do some beams of her own. And if you give her the time to throw a beam out, it clears all the it doesn't clear all the the projectiles out. It clears some projectiles out that are in the way, and there are some things like H item and stuff that will stop her from, like, if she gets hit during the startup of H item, like, it just goes through and, like, the H. What am I trying to say? She would get hit by the beam, Peacock would, and then item would go away, because item goes away on hit if you're charging it. So there's a few things to note there. So you could try to more often than not frame trap with the item itself, and also stop it. Early item also stops him from getting away. That's another thing to look for. But I've just made a bunch of things. What I'll do now is, I haven't seen you play ever. It's not even like, some other players that I do analysis for, that like I watch their first game, even though I generally know what they play like. I have no idea how you play like. So I'll just watch your first game and not say anything, just to gauge what the sort of thing I should be like hammering on and stuff like that. So let's go. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. For this, I think it would be useful to I will pull up the game here, actually, because I think some of the stuff that you are struggling with, I should show the game to you to make it make sense. I'm so sleepy. I'll just pick the two characters that you're playing. You're playing Robo. No, you're not playing Robo, you're playing Peacock. Peacock. Big Band. What are these ST picked? L George, L Beat Extend versus H. Pretty sure I'll try. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not sharing stuff right now. Hello. I'm not showing anything in particular. I'm just picking the characters. I'll show stuff later. No, don't worry. No, I don't want to pick 3 characters. Get the fuck out of here. Against Robo with H beam. What the fuck? Why you gotta sus? Get the fuck out of here, please. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Stay here. Just don't say that word ever again. Cool. You know what? I'm okay with that. Anyway. Cool. Cool. I've set up training mode and I don't need to look at it for a while. Let's look at the game. Oh, I gotta finish watching the game, huh? Let's do that. Let's watch the game. I hope the music is not too loud. Wait, why did that happen? Oh, I see. Nah, that sucks. Hey Ace, how's it going? Okay. So, my advice, the very first thing that I've noticed that stuck out to me like a needle in my duodenum is you have no idea when the blockstone and hitstone of, like, when moves generally are, like, ending. Which is a fine problem to have when you're starting out, but that's something we gotta fix. It also just takes a long time, but the easiest way to do is to, you know, fix that is to, like, just play over and over and you'll eventually get used to it. It's like a really long way of looking at it, but you could do that. I think the easiest way to fix all of that would be, you know, taking all the stuff under a microscope and knowing when you can get out of things or not. Because there's so many times you actually do have a turn of doing things, at least against Robo here, that you're not taking. And we'll go over some of that. I think that is very, very important. Go back to here. So the first thing here is you get away and do this, right? But you wait so long here. This is not real. I will show you how long it lasts. This is where I need the game now. Why is the game not showing up? Okay, there we go. Game should come now. So, what I'm doing now is setting up hitboxes, and what hitboxes do is I can see how long the hitstun lasts in the hitbox. Because when hitstun you have like a certain color to you, and like that color is really important to see when you're like, okay, this now I'm out of hitstun or whatever. Get her to do the beam. Actually, instead of that, let's do that. And we'll play this in slow motion, yeah? You're done already. Like, do you see that? I mean, I know that Cotton isn't here, but it's really, really important, especially to see this in real time. You already recovered. Like, you can hold up forward here. You can't really do that. You can do that. You can do something like this. You can do something like that. If you're like kind of far away, you could get this out immediately. So if they try to do beam into beam, you can get item out in that time, and it hits. Which means the item has had time to like release, which is really big. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. You can call beat extend. Yes, thank you, Carl. Even on hit, I just spam it and it still comes out. Like, you have so much time. And normally when you get hit, you know, beams have more advantage on hit than on block or whatever, right? But even then, between that, like, there's like at least a 30 frame. 30 frames? No, is it 30 frames? How long is it for the assist to jump in? It's like, no, that's like 12 frames or something like that. I don't know how long it is, but it's like at least like, it has to be a double digit gap at the very, very least. So you're not taking that. And this is a theme that shows up in every single interaction, almost every single interaction later. Cool. Back to here. So you try to do this. Like, this is not required. Why? There's no need to like gamble something like this. And Robo ultimately wants to move in and like do things to you, because as much as Robo is a zoner, Robo does not do much damage when she's that far away. Like, if you block a few beams, you barely, like, you take 1,000 damage by blocking a few beams, that's it. Whereas, you know, like, and they require you to like sit there basically the entire time. Like, that's such a big deal. Whereas with Peacock, you know, it's not that hard getting 1,000 damage in ship, and you know, building a shit ton of meter during that time, while denying the opponent the meter gain, and you know, actually setting up like Lenny or whatever else you want to be doing. I mean, Lenny's not that great in this matchup actually, but you get what I mean. Anyway, let's look at this even further. Now you're ultimately in the corner, and again you wait. Like, you tier shot does not have that long a hit stun. I'll show you how long it is. The game back on. It's that long. I can start moving forward now. I can start moving backwards now. I can jump away immediately. I can like jump forward and walk forward and I'm out of it. Like, that's so big. You're respecting things like that way too much. And I mean, you know, I'm not berating you for that. I mean, it sounds like I am, and to an extent I am. But that's not the point. The point is that you need to recognize how much time you actually have. That's like really, really important. And obviously it's a really important skill in all fighting games. But if you're learning a new fighting game, you really need to know when you can move, when you cannot move. And in SG, it's really easy to tell when you can move, when you cannot move. If you turn on hitboxes,
Let's go.
I'll show you that. I changed the thing, didn't I? You're in this yellow color here. It's actually pretty hard to tell because the yellow color is happening over here too. But like your boxes are in this yellow color, which means yellow means unthrowable. I'm pretty sure, right? Carl, you're a nerd. You should know this. But I'm pretty sure yellow means unthrowable, which is, you know, when you're in hitstun, you're unthrowable. So whenever you're yellow like this, and now you're back to green, so you can act now, as shown by me moving back now. So it's like that. It's like you have that much of a time, right? Anyway, back to the video. You get out of the teleport back. Why would you? Okay. I'm not upset. I'm just trying to explain. Let's do that. Let's do this. Why would you, like, another thing you need to get better at, which, like, to be fair, every single fighting game player can get better at, and most people in SG can get better at it, is knowing when you can actually, like, when you can actually do these things. So, if I look at this... Oh my god, I hit the wrong button. If I look at the spot... one, I don't actually think it's a good idea to approach here. But if you want to do it, it's not like a bad time to do it. I don't think there's like necessarily a bad time to approach. Like, you know, if I gave you the spot and Robo Fortune was in 30 frames a lag, I don't think it's a bad idea to approach here. And I think that's maybe the presumption you're working with here. But you don't have 30 frames to work with. You're actually acting at the same time. You actually haven't had that many frames. When are you acting here? Yeah. You can act like... Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around about 6 frames. Around about 6 frames. Given, you know, nobody's acting out of stuff frame perfect or whatever. You have around about 6 frames to work with things. You don't have 30 frames to try this. Like, you just don't have enough time. So making decisions based on, you know, when you actually have time to do things, it's a skill that, like, you get better at the more you play the game. So, like, I'm not like, you know, if you can't do this now, like, it's not like you can't do this now, you can never be good at SG ever. But it's really important to be able to gauge this and be like, okay, when can I actually act? And this is one spot where you can't. And if you're not actively looking to practice this, I would really highly suggest that you do actually practice looking at matches and going, okay, this is where I can act, this is where I cannot act. This is how much time I have to do things in this scenario. And I think based on all of that, I think the easiest answer to do something here is just to call beat extend. You do here, you teleport out of the corner, call beat extend, down back. There's nothing Robo can really do that like really hurt you that badly. The best thing that Robo can do here is hope for a counter, hope to melee the assist coming in, and get like a little bit of damage, and also not even knock down Big Man. There's like no real way that Robo knocks down Big Man here. Knocking down Big Ben is really a big deal, because if you knock down an assist, they will like spend time getting up, and then they will then they will leave. I'll show you that actually. I'll go back here, go back here, go back here, go back here, then go back here, and then turn on the game. Let's see. I'll show like this. Oh, that's pretty bad. See, the assist is knocked down, and then they get up, and then they leave. And then there's assist cooldown on top of that. There's 4 seconds, not 4 frames, 4 seconds of assist cooldown. I think it's regular seconds, not skull seconds. Carl, you're in chat. You should know this. Oh, are you in chat? I'm about to get really upset if you're not in chat, Carl. How do I see when people are in chat or not? You know, I get the fuck out of here. It's like 4 seconds, 4 real seconds, right? I'm pretty sure. It's not like full 4 skull seconds. Oh, turn this off. There we go. Actually, let me mark this as analyzed 18.9. 2021. What the? 18.9. Oh, what else is there? What is the question again? How much assist cooldown is there? I think it's 4 regular seconds, right? Like not 4 skull seconds or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's 4 regular seconds. I'm just curious. It's not the biggest of deals if you don't know. In the meantime, I'll just set up what this is. This should be this. And put this here. That should be great. And I can close Chrome now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 4 regular seconds, not 4 skull seconds. Not like, yeah. Anyway, back to here. You don't have enough time to do this, and now because you tried that, you're back in the corner again. I will also mention during this first game, you've had a lot of time to actually play the game, you know. Cool. Yeah, whatever. This happens sometimes. Again, like, yeah, this is not plus. This is minus 11 on block. Pretty sure it's minus 11 or something. I'm gonna check frame data in here.
Let's go.
Your turn.
ちょっと待ってね。Fight.
120 frames. Oh, 1.66 seconds. Oh. So it's less than 2 seconds. I thought it was 4 seconds. wow, okay. Shows you how wrong I am. 120 frames. Shoot. Feels like it feels less than, it feels about right. I thought it was 4 seconds, and it always confused why it's like it doesn't feel like 4 seconds at all. But good to know. I thought it was longer than that, honestly. It should be, I think. It should be 4 seconds. Should be like 240 or something. 240. Maybe 200 is probably a better idea. It's probably worth it. 4 seconds sliding? Okay, that seems right. Yeah. Because they have to get up and then they get slid down and they get up and then they leave. That makes sense. I think that should be worked. I think that should be looked at. I feel like it should be longer, but that's... Whatever, it doesn't matter too much. Go back here, actually. I want to show you how to... Like, I will also show you... Oh, I should also put the game on. But I'll show you how to get this frame advantage stuff working. Oh, it didn't work? Oh, you can probably look at it the other way if you pick Robo or something. But I'm pretty sure this is like minus 11 on block, something like that. I'll check frame data on Wiki. Wiki will be easier than this. So I'll get out of here. Go to the Wiki. Not sure you can. Wiki.gbl. There we go. So Wiki.gbl is a pretty good space to find all your frame data needs. Thanks to the excellent work of the Wiki team, a lot of the frame data is here. Oh, look at all these guides. Who gives a shit? Am I right, fellas? Fuck them. Specials. There we go. Minus 11 on block. What's it on hit? Minus 4 on hit. There we go. Minus 4 on hit. Minus 11 on block. It is not plus, and you can hit a button. So, you should hit a button instead of letting him do this. This is also punishable. Also, if you turn to punish things... I'll just play capture. So, there you go. If you hit 2 jabs, it's very likely the first jab will hit and the second jab will whiff. Like this. So if you dial in like jab to crush medium punch, that will always work. What was the combo here? Whatever, you get what I mean. I'm gonna try what the combo is. Cool. Wow, that does no damage now. What the hell? What? This used to be like 7k or something? Wow, that's pathetic. This character sucks now, by the way. I have decreed. This character sucks ass. Anyway. back to fucking around. Unviable, yes. Actual bottom 2. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're like waiting so long. You're waiting so long during all of these things. Down to Fuka, yes. No. Also, I did an analysis for Max, and he like got owned by Anchor Eliza, and I never want to hear anybody say that character sucks. That is actually stupid. I will EU Eliza propaganda will in the dirt with that. They have no idea what they're talking about. Actually whack. Don't clip this. But anyway. What's up, Sean? Anyway, this character is gonna be Mungo Dead. Yeah, I mean, Dema should have floated in actually to get this. If you float out, it doesn't really work. Normally you float out to get the jab link afterwards, but if you're doing this, you should always float in. And yeah, like look at there's no real reason to do this. You should call your assist here. so you get back, but like you're not far enough to do things. So I think another thing is like just not paying attention to the spacing. And again, like a lot of these things, I think like you will get better at later the more you play. But if you're looking to be like, hey, how do I like not get run over? Most people, the way they not get run over is by getting better at these things. Some of them take longer than others. Like, you know, like if you do this, for example, like you see Robo is still moving. Oh my god, I hate this. Right, like, you know, it's just knowing how much time you have to do things, man. Like, that's so important. Like, you're still like very close. You can't do this. It won't work. What you could do is probably just do an L George or something, if anything. But even that's risky. You probably should up backdash away and then like call down BX or something. I'm going to be more forgiving with your big band because most people will get better at one character and then they get better at big band. But I will also tell you how to get better at big band. So one thing to note is when the assist hits like this, you can use this to do push block absolute guard. If you don't know what that is, you can find out information about it, but I'll give you a quick rundown anyway. When you push block, you can change your guard state from standing to crouching or crouching to standing. So you crouch block something, let's say, like you crouch block this, you push block, and then you stand block. That's how you input it. Once you do that, you're actually immune to high and low block, like high and low mix up, at the same time. During the time the block stun lasts. Hey, what's up, Hammer? How's it hanging? How's level 4 kick? That was too easy. I could not do it. And don't drop this again. Level 4 has. Feels bad, man. Okay, so you got this. Again, I'm gonna be forgiving you the big band. Most people's big band is pretty bad, and they're just starting out, you know. You drop the combo. You should look to like not dial this in if you drop the combo. It's like a pretty useful skill actually. You know, you combo drop. Don't do the special. That's punishable. You will swing like this. That's fine. You gotta take roll towards. Again, you're like, yeah, no, like, you should move already. There's no reason to like stay there. On one hand, like, yeah, I mean, if you're waiting for the thing for them to shoot a beam or something, then like, sure. But like, I think generally speaking, you don't really know when you can move and when you can do things. So I think especially paying attention to that is really important. And you're like waiting. Well, I don't know why you're doing these standing heavy kicks. It might just be A-trains or something. And not enough charge. Oh, if you got the combo here, you would have killed. You would have killed both characters actually, I'm pretty sure. This is pretty funny. This actually, the stomp hit Parasol, and Cerobo was unaffected. Yeah, if you just lose RPS mix-ups up close, then you maybe do. Yeah, down backing, you maybe do. If you choose to down back, that's your own decision, and there's nothing wrong about that. Again, like dialing in A-Train a bit too much, but that's alright. But yeah, I think generally, like, the biggest thing I can tell you is, like, actually know when you can do things, when you cannot do things. That's, like, the biggest deal. And that's just a fundamental skill you get better at the more you play fighting games. But working on it early when you have a lot of time is really good. Because then you get to my age and you're like, I want to do that stuff. And then you're just like, how would I ever have the time to practice it? What the hell? When you're a boomer, you can't do this shit, alright? So when you're a zoomer, take advantage of it. Okay, so you do this. Cool, you have all the time. What happened to Parasol? What's the music? It's Alien Weaponry. It's a New Zealand thrash metal band. Is it thrash metal? It's just a New Zealand metal band. I don't know what genre they fit in. They released an album yesterday. It's really good, and I'm just listening to it over and over. I think it's really, really good. Oh, you just dodged it. Oh, that's pretty funny. Okay, so here again, one thing to get better at Peacock that I didn't realize was like a big skill is actually letting the fireball come out in time. So you do this. So you actually messed up this really badly. So you do stand heavy punch, but you did it actually so early. The fireball didn't come out. And then you try to go into item. And I don't think really necessarily that either of those were like necessarily the best ideas. Or like even if you got this properly, it would have been fine. But like, because you didn't really get any of it, you just got hit for no real reason. And you got no advantage out of it. Damn, I should have shot another beam actually. There's no there is some reason not to. The plane is coming over, that's one. And getting hit here, that's pretty bad. Yeah, and like we've mentioned here, yeah, like you also what the fuck? Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out. What the fuck? What? Can we look at this? What the hell is this?
Pose. One more time.
So if you do two beams,
Let's go.
okay, maybe delay it. That's alright. What the? Oh, I see. What the? That's so... Wow. The beam hits you, so the projectile hitbox goes away, but the fireball still comes out. Well, this is one that this is one reason we know Demo sucks. But this is actually crazy. I never thought this was happening. And you don't get punished, but is that it? Yeah. That's so crazy. So you That's so wild. Because if you do it too early, the beam does cancel the thing out. But if you time it just right, then this happens. That's kind of cool. That's really cool, actually. This doesn't happen if you shoot the beams as fast as possible, but this is really funny. Anyway, learn something new every day or whatever. So what the hell? Because it's like, the fireball gets in the way of it. Like, there's no way it loses. And like, there's no real reason to read this like that this badly. Like, it doesn't really do anything. Another thing you can do here is actually body block with your bead extend, and then just shoot, then get projectiles out. And the main projectile you want to get out is item, charge, and the plane, because Robo sitting there from full screen can't easily clear them, and she has to get close. So the way you look at that. Oops, wrong move. Cool, let's look at that. Oops. Oh, beam hits full screen actually, never mind. Thought you could actually do that. Am I stupid? I guess, yeah, I'm stupid. You can't body block the beam anymore, so shouldn't do that. You can body block other projectiles, but you can't body block beam. That's useful against tier shot X. Not useful. But anyway, irrelevant. Let's move on. Oh, hey, Demo. Okay, so you get ready here. But yeah, I don't think it's really necessarily any reason to like hard read this with teleport or whatever. Like, the risk you take to teleport and get owned for it is not that like worth like blocking a few beams and then getting out of the way. And I think because you don't really know how quickly you can act out of it, it's making you think that you have to make these big reads when you're at advantage whenever a beam hits you. Beam is -4 on hit. Like, you act before the robo does. Then we saw something really crazy with beam and stand a heavy punch with Peacock. That was a skill check for you. But it was really funny when it happened. Okay. If you're not gonna push block, yeah, then damn, I can just do that. Not much of this is specifically like a Robo Fortune or Parasol thing. You just don't really know how the game works. Okay, push block there. You can act. So much respect. You don't need any of it. Yeah, you spent OTG, you can't do that combo. Wow, I guess that works. Didn't even kill. Yep. Oh, you missed the combo. Cool. I don't know what that's about. A lot of sending heavy kick. I'm not sure what's going on. That's cool. You should tier toss their demo. I don't know what those are really bad at doing back throw into tier toss. That gives you a conversion every single time. And it's not that much better than like doing the E-grid conversion. Might yoink that. Tier toss after back throw. Back throw tier toss. You don't need charge for your back throw conversion. You can always do it. But yeah, I think the more I watch this, the less like you will get out of it. But yeah, cool. You do this again. You teleport. There's no real reason to. There's a George coming that way. Dema has to move out of the way. There's no real reason to try to do that. Again, you send Hey Punch. Call your assist. You have a defensive assist. You're not even doing it. Yes, you know, sometimes it doesn't work or whatever, but there's no. That's not a reason not to do it. What the fuck? You're actually cracked. Probably George. That combos? That's stupid. That's the teleport's way too early here. You gotta do it a bit later than that. Wow, that's crazy. Finally, a B-Dix and Cole. Did that happen again? Oh no, it's the plane hit. Yeah, the plane is really good. Plane comes over a lot of the beams and just hits her. And she can't really do much about it other than get out of the way. And you don't need to do this. You're just wasting time. The robo is getting in. It's useful sometimes if you really want to like sit there and like call them out on beaming over and over, but then like I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. And drop combo, that's fine. And again, like, you know, be cognizant of the distance. Like, how far are you? Not very far, as a matter of fact. You missed this punish in my ears. You're, you know. Sus. Again, you have a lot more time to act than you actually think you do. Like, look at this. Like, they, you know, you didn't actually block anything. And you were so slow here. Just like act a lot quicker than this, please. It's really important. Are you gonna kill both characters here? No, you scrub. Damn it, you suck. Actually, a baddie. You gotta push block some of it. That's okay. Okay. 3, yeah. 3 to 1. Ah. Yeah, sure, why not? You gotta gamble something big sometimes. You're gambling a bit too much, but I think I'm focusing more on your peacock play here. I'm gonna I would focus more on, you know, how to win better, especially when you're starting out in the game. It's like more useful to learn how to win better than like how to like not lose as much. If that distinction makes any sense. I might just watch this one more, and if there's not much else that's different, I think I'll call it here. I think I've been mentioning the same points over and over, really. Okay. Yeah, and like you're getting called out by tear shot and stuff, like, because you're actually trying to interact. You honestly don't have a whole lot of reason to interact here. You can just run away. So you do this. Yeah, tear shot is there. Why would you go in this spot? There's no reason to. You have L George covering you on the ground. You use this time to like charge item or something. You should charge item before you go in. You'd never go in roll with Peacock. It's not really worth it. Like, charge item. Start charging item here. And because it didn't go that well, now you're stuck here. Now you, again, do your projectiles at a bad spacing instead of calling assist. Or, you know, defending in any other way. Because you're not as far as you think you are. And all this stuff is going to happen to you. Feels bad, man. Okay. Drop combo. It be do. Yep. Robo Fortune is impossible to hit in those spots. It be do. I think I've been mentioning the same sort of things over and over. You can do crouch heavy kick there, damn it, actually. Crouch heavy kick, double snaps. Instead of crouching heavy punch, you just hit crouch heavy kick. Again, you're not that far. I think I've been mentioning the same points over and over. I might just call it here. Yeah, get onto that. Yeah, I don't think you're dead here. Yeah, he builds 3. It's over. Yeah, I think I've mentioned the same points quite a while now. So I think I might just call it here. I've done 3 games. Don't think that I'm scolding you. Despite the fact that I do sound like that. I'm genuinely not trying to. I think the fact that you're just like not paying attention to the spacing and what time you have available is a really big deal. And I mean, you are new to the game, so you're bound to make these mistakes. I make those same mistakes whenever I play a new fighting game, but the key is focusing on that. Like you know, when you play a short set, you don't even need to play a long set necessarily. Like, I know it's, you know, habit to play a long set and like just play game, you know, to satisfy or like get some sort of dopamine or whatever, right? But playing a game for a long time when you're new at it, it's kind of tilting. Like when I'm new to a fighting game, I try to play short sets and then watch them over as quickly as possible instead of playing long sets and getting upset, because when you get upset by watching a long set, 1, it's a super long set, you're not going to watch every single game. And 2, it's a long set, like after you've been like physically and mentally drained, you know, mentally drained at least, and you don't want to go back and look at that set. And the longer you wait on that set, the less likely you're actually to go back and actually watch it again, which is what you actually need to do to get better at a fighting game. So I think that's really, really important. yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. And second, don't drop combos, but everybody drops combos. And don't drop combos is a very simple problem to fix. It's not very complicated. You just go back and practice more combos. But yeah, that's mostly it, I think. Ask me stuff if you're curious about anything. I think the fact that you're like backdashing and then doing bombs and bombs, like that that to me means you're not looking at the opponent. You're not looking at what they can actually do and how they can move in a given spot, I think. And practicing that more will be really, really important by like actually just playing people and trying to focus on that skill specifically. Trying to look at like how far are they before I can start doing things. Can I actually get back farther enough? Do I need to start looking for anti-airs? Or can I just chuck projectiles without any second thought? That's mostly it from me. If anybody has any questions in chat, I can go over those. Otherwise, I'll just call it here. I'll wait for a few minutes to see if there's any questions in chat to like complement my analysis so far. Complement, not compliment. You can save your compliments for later. That'd be great. That's generally my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think, and I'll just wait to hear for any questions. But other than that, I'll see you around. Your analysis is so cool and smart. I meant the compliments with the E. Thank you. But I will take those two. Compliment is when two things complement each other. English tutor. Sheesh. Yeah, any questions that English analysis? Any questions that you guys have about any of the stuff that I went over? That you think like if I include it here, it would be good to have? Unfortunately, I don't have any quick, good tips. All the stuff I mentioned is very long term. I mean, fixing combos is relatively short term, so there's something to say for that. And the way that Demacley was beating you did not have a lot of nuance to it, so you just there's not a lot of nuance on how to get better against that. You're not necessarily losing the power roll before, you're just losing because you need to a game, and that's like fine. That's not a problem. All you gotta do to fix that is just practice the game and like actually look at why you're losing. And if you feel like you don't really know why, you can always send me another one of these, or post your set discussion. And play short sets. Play short sets actually, I think. Don't play long sets. I know it's counterintuitive because most people say, when you're new, you should get as much experience as possible. I think that's wrong. I think the way to actually do it is to play short sets. When you're still fired up about it, you can go back and watch it and make notes about how to get better, and then practice the thing specifically. I think that's the way to improvement, at least consistently. Like when I play Marvel 2, I generally try to play like a short set and then watch it over, and then go, oh, that's what I need to get better at, and then if I need to practice it, I go practice it. Actually, that's really important. I will actually show a graphic that shows you that. Where is this graphic? There it is. I'll actually put it up here. I'll explain this stuff too. I think it's worth going over. Where did it go? There it is. This. It says friendlies because it's from Smash. Ignore that. It's casuals. It's casuals. But practicing, so what you do is you play casuals. When you play casuals, you go, okay, what did I actually lose? too, look at that. Look at your replays. SG has amazing replays. No biggie. Fuck, I don't want to say friendlies because it's cringe, but whatever. And then you either go back and practice it. So you go, okay, I dropped this, this, and this. I need to get better at that. I need to get better at that. Then you go practice it. Are we not friends? Well, we are friends, but we are casual friends. You're not competitive. Casual friendship, the opposite to competitive friendship. Anyway, I think that's funny. But regardless, so once you're like, okay, I like don't really know what I'm doing, you go back and practice stuff. Yes, that's the reference I was going for, Demo. You're right. Anyway, so you can go back and you play like a first to 5, play maybe in first to 10 if you really want to. I generally think first to 5 is a good idea, but first to 10 you can do it if you want, especially like if you don't want to just look at 5 games. But honestly, when you play like 3 games, especially when you're new, your problems will show up in the first 3 games, and they won't really be that different in the later games. So just play like a short set of games, go back and watch it, go, okay, this is where I messed up, this is what I need to do. If you need to practice something, which you will most likely need to, you go practice it. If you see something and you go, I have no idea how to beat this, you go back and watch a VOD of like top players playing your characters against their the opponent's characters, and see what they're doing. Alternatively, instead of VODs here, it should be like, asking people for advice and shit like that. But you're like trying to use VODs as ways to get things to practice, or like things to apply. Like a really dumbed down, stupid example of this is like, okay, you played rock paper scissors with somebody, and you're like, okay, they just kept picking paper. I don't know how to beat it. You can go to training mode for rock paper scissors and figure out that scissors beats paper somehow. If you get that, then you should practice doing scissors. I can't believe I'm saying this, but hopefully the idea gets across, right? And then you're like, if you still look at training mode and you go, I have no idea how to beat paper, and then you go watch a VOD, or ask me like, hey, can you watch my VOD of RPS? I kept doing rock and they kept doing paper. I kept losing. What do I do? And then I'll tell you, scissor beats paper. You should pick scissors sometimes. You're like, oh, that's what it does, huh? Maybe you need to practice doing scissors. And then you practice doing scissors, and then you take it to another friendly or casual. And then you go, okay, now I know scissors beats paper. And now you apply that knowledge in your new casuals, and eventually you will need to learn how to beat something else, and then you'll do that. And the more you do it over and over, then you eventually become a really good player. That's my method of improvement. The one that I would recommend. Alternatively, there's this graphic here. I'm actually not gonna put this graphic up actually, but yeah. Any questions about any of that, chat? Otherwise, I'll call it quits here. I got stuff to do. I've been going over dumb memes, but yeah. Let me know if there's any questions about anything I can explain further to help out Cotton, get better at SG. If there's nothing in a few minutes, I'll call it quits here. I gotta do stuff. I'm not sleeping early. I've gotta do stuff. I did sleep early yesterday. I was very tired. How does Peacock punish Pillar Bikes? Fuck, I don't know. It didn't show up in this match. How does Peacock punish Pillar Bikes? I don't fucking know. Let's see. What do you do here?
One more once.
How does Peacock punish?
Let's go.
What the fuck?
It's too much.
What the? I think I'm doing it already. What? Cannot input bikes? Oh, there we go.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
You can do that.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
That's not a punish.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
That's not a punish.
Imminent. Egrets roll up.
Nope.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
That worked.
Imminent. Egrets roll up.
That's not a punish.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
That's a punish.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
Can you show a toad? That's the easy one. I can show you a toad. Can you show toes? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
Oh, no, it's because this was in the overlay already. Like, if I hide the game in the thing, it's already there. And I just moved it up.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
Pre-toaded, yeah, man.
Roll up. Imminent. Egrets 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 roll up.
Why isn't it working?
Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
This might be the easiest thing when you block it up close and super back. It seems like the most consistent thing.
Imminent. Egrets roll up.
Oops.
Imminent. Egrets roll up.
This doesn't really punish, so you might just have to super. I don't know what you do when you're far away. I am not gonna do that. I mean, usually when they pillar, you'll be like super close anyway. Otherwise, like, it doesn't really matter. Another thing to note actually with pillar bites is that this is super irrelevant to the analysis. Pillar actually has a really... okay, I'm glad I figured that out. Oops, back here.
Imminent. Egrets roll up.
I was gonna show here actually.
Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up. Imminent. Egrets roll up.
At least in my experience when I was playing this character, it was really hard to do bikes at a timing where the bikes would hit, but like when the pillar hits, but not when the pillar whiffs, because pillar has a really big hit stop. So I would time it really late in the hit stop. It's not relevant here because my recording here says amazing. Doesn't matter anyway. We are wasting. We're definitely just wasting time now. Pretty much up to Argus. Doesn't matter. I will stop it now. We are all pre-toted and all that. Para come back when? When I come back to the game, dude. I am not coming back to the game for a while. Any other questions? Not. Otherwise, I'm gonna stop the stream and like do some final preparation for tomorrow.